So we, focus our attention on the game that was. City of Lusaka played Lusaka Dynamos, but first half, let's look at Power Dynamo's visit to Green Buffaloes Football Club. It actually proved to be the first defeat of the season for Dan Cowboys. Man, let's have a look at the two selections that were made by the two coaches. Let me start with you, Arthur. Were you a little bit surprised that Power Dynamos actually got beat by Green Buffaloes this past weekend?
No, Zite. Buffaloes, if you look at the Buffalo side of this year, they've been getting results when you least expect them to get results. Power Dynamos came into the game full of confidence. I was talking to the guys at Zambezi Lodge where they lodged before the game. They were full of confidence, but football being the way it is, even home ground advantage plays a role. But Buffaloes had a game plan. They sat behind and then hit Power Dynamos on a counter. They knew what they wanted in that game. Even a draw in that game would have been a better result considering that Power Dynamos had gone 13 games without a loss.
Okay, Vespa. This is the first time Dan Cowboys men have been beaten in the league.
Yeah. Yes, Zite. If you look at Power Dynamos, the way they played with Nkana Red Devils, you can see that there was a lot of fire coming out of Power Dynamos team. I'm sure they had put almost all the machines they could use so that they can beat Nkana. So sometimes you'd think that maybe that game had given them a lot of maybe work, and coming to meet a team like Green Buffaloes who have been playing very well for I think the past 4-5 games. So it was like another tough game to them. But looking at the way they are playing a very good game. Which maybe they can reach to the point where the coach said maybe they may win the league.
Okay, so fresh from a 1-0 defeat at the hands of Lusaka Dynamos, Green Buffaloes had a debt to deal with in the early kickoff at the Woodland Stadium. Let's look at the two selections by the two coaches. Now, for Dan Kawe, I think he loves this formation. He loves playing with two strikers. He had the luxury of having Kelechi Mubanga Kampamba back, the jersey number 24. And of course, Ngwenya has, started consecutive games for them. But pretty much the team that actually beat Nkana. And for Green Buffaloes Football Club, they actually made one surprise change in central midfield where Lawrence Mlenga actually came on for Loti Piru, who usually plays that position. But 4-1-4-1, Brian Mueller leading the line on his own. So now it was the battle of two strikers versus one striker, but the devil was always in transition. When you look at those two lineups, we always talk about mobility, and perhaps we can begin to discuss Brian Mueller leading the line alone. Sometimes if they play two up top, he's there. If they play three up front, he's also there. What does that tell us about him?
You know, with Brian, when you look at Brian, the way he plays, he's not a player who is who cannot hold the ball. He's a player who can hold the ball even when he's alone. I think it suits him to play as a lone striker rather than playing with two strikers, because he runs a lot. You keep those defenders at work. So for him to play with another striker, I think it limits his space for him to go and run and get the goal. People are complaining about his performance, but when you look at a striker, what's the job of a striker? The job of a striker is to get goals. But people, when you look at Brian's performance, he's a guy who can have like 4 or 5 chances, but for him to get a goal, he needs a more.
Clearly should be number one in that packing order. Green Buffaloes, in your opinion, in terms of centre forwards, they've played Happy Kaunda up top. Sometimes they play Mike Katiba as the second striker. So it's about who plays the 9 and who plays the 10. Probably that's the selection headache that Bilton Msonda obviously has to deal with.
Yeah, it looks like he's trying to see who is going to fit on this position and that position. You know, sometimes we coaches, we have confidence in players whom you see, and you know that every time I have confidence in him, I put him, he gives me good results. Maybe he has a goal, he scores. You know, he may not be a good dribbler, he may not be maybe a good player, but some good players may be good by scoring.
Okay, so let's look at what Power Dynamos were up to this game. Let's study the player movements of Power Dynamos in attack, because they came up with a very offensive lineup. Now, look at this. That's the pattern of movement of the entire team. Immediately they get the ball, the backline is moving forward to actually close up the space and make the team compact. But particular interest should be Larry Bwalia there, and how, for example, they're exchanging positions with Kelvin Mubanga wearing shirt number 24 there. So Larry would run into the left wing, Mubanga would come into the half space, Godfrey Ngwenya would tuck in, almost playing like a diamond 4-4-2 formation. You'd also have Fwayo coming short, coming to play in between the lines, in between the channels, and probably trying to create space behind the Green Buffaloes defense with his strike partner, that's Martin Peary there. Now, this is a lineup that they've renewed faith in, but it comes back to the movements again, Vespa. Green Buffaloes actually struggled to deal with that one in terms of Larry running from a central position, going to the wing, and vice versa. How do you deal with such a situation?
It was very difficult for Green Buffaloes, yes, especially to close in. Looking at the way the interchanging was in the midfield, and if you look at Fwayo Tembo, Larry Bwalia, Ngwenya, you know, these are players who can hold on to the ball, take on a defender. Maybe even he can shoot at any time. You know, they have a very good striking force, Power Dynamos, especially if you look at the way they are coming from the wings, interchanging, coming in the midfield. You may not even know who is playing number 7, number 11, and who is playing 6 and 8 because of the way they interchange Bwalia and Ngwenya. It's good to find good players like that, but the best they could be doing when they have a good play like the way they used to like a formation, they should be getting goals.
Yeah, and perhaps that's where the question is that it was looking okay. They were making Buffalo's chase. Now, here's the Buffalo side, Arthur, that's playing, practically a 4-5-1. And now they want to get at least 2 banks of 4 at the barest minimum every time they lose the ball. But even when they do that, it's a matter of tracking. Who tracks who? Who tracks Larry when he's running? I saw Kativa trying to pick him up. I saw Lawrence Mlenga being a pale shadow of himself, and even led to him being subbed in the first half.
You know, Zite, Buffaloes came into this game with a plan. They for them to play like that, they knew that if they allow Power Dynamos to take control of the game, they will leave space at the back, of which they will exploit. Again, if you look at that substitution, which Coach Bilton Msonda made early in the first half, whereby Stephen Kabamba, we all know that Steve is a defender, and then you could see the sign. They were defending. A draw for them would have been okay, but what is important in football is to keep the shape.
Who looked like the home team in this one? Power Dynamos were playing like it was Arthur Davis, to some extent, Vespa.
Yes, Power, I think, got it all, especially in the first half. And the instructions they were given, correctly, yes, they did. But me, I always get worried, especially when the team is not scoring. Because I think for us to be winning, we should at least make sure we get a goal. Then we start playing, even if it's the build-up. We want to see how the transition is going from the midfield up front. if it's the defending itself, the teams should be seen. Yes, we are playing a good football of passing. Why are we passing? Are we passing so that we know that I pass to my friend and forget that I'm in the game? Appearance? No. Let's have players who can we are moving. A good team. Yes, Power Dynamos is a good team. Green Buffaloes is a good team. But playing the way we were playing, yes, like if we say Power Dynamos, good build-up. Let's finish the game, and it costed them. If you saw what happened.
Now I'm also thinking, Arthur, was this a calamitous performance that they deserve to be condemned to the first defeat of the season? We'll get to the numbers, but look at the way they attacked. They had control of the game, but it just didn't work. They didn't score. Like, yes, Buffaloes were chasing, but just that final product on the part of Fwayo, Larry, Martin, Mubanga, and Ngwenya.
You know, when teams like I remember when I was still playing, when we were playing Power Dynamos, we could just give them the ball, but limit them to reach the attacking third, whereby you don't have to give them much chance to get into the attacking third, because if they get in there, they'll exploit the space and get goals. If you look at the way Green Buffaloes were lining up at the back, Power Dynamos would play in flank of the Green Buffaloes defense, which was amounting to nothing. Because if you look at the shots on target, they were minimal.
Okay, let's have a look at GBFC in attack, because in transition, we also need to take stock of what Power Dynamos were doing. So, GBFC in attack, and just basically their attacking pattern. Now, when Green Buffaloes actually win the ball, Power Dynamos were playing very compact football. And because of that, they were almost pressing immediately they lost the ball. And it was forcing Green Buffaloes, well, to actually play wide. Because, as you can see there, Fwayo Tembo and Martin Piri are keeping Kanjolo and Adrian Chama very busy there. It makes it impossible for them to pick those square passes at the back, probably bring in Jack Chirwa and move the attack forward. But here we are, Brian Mwila actually leading the line there, almost 1v1, Billy Mtale picking him up. I don't know whether that was part of the deal or what, but look at the runner, the number 40 there, Mike Katiba running into that space, Diamond Chikwekwe on the left, and Happy Kaunda on the right, trying to provide that thrust going forward. It was still tough because of how tactically disciplined Power Dynamos was. So they had control, and they had Buffaloes seemingly in the palm of their hands, especially in the first half.
When you play against a team which is so good in possession, even when you get the ball, you get it in your own area, whereby you don't even have that much space to play because they are already in your own area. It's even easier for them to place and get the ball from you. You need to be very quick in transition. When you want to get forward, you need to be very quick when going forward. But when you look at the way Buffaloes were doing, they were very, very slow when they were going in attack.
Okay, Vespa, that's some point. You need to give Dan Kaba credit about how he organized this team. They were pressing, they were getting the ball high up the pitch, and if Buffaloes were able to play wide into Sidney Lombe or Emmanuel Mseka and actually float a long pass going forward, and Billy Mtale had, well, the beating of Brian Mwila for most of the duos throughout the game.
Yes, of course. No wonder if you've heard my point at the beginning. I said they wasted most of their times passing to each other, maybe going round there. They had an advantage whereby having the ball, even in the 18, they were reaching with their small passes, which they listened to their coach to say we should not open up the game, because Buffaloes also, the way they were coming, so we should be moving slowly. Yes, they moved slowly, but let's finish the game. Credit goes, yes, to the coach because of the way he closed the game, And the attacking, which the Buffaloes try to maybe penetrate, it was not easy for them to pass through because of the way the Dali Warriors and the Fuayo were coming to get the balls from the midfield and open up in the wings.
Okay, so Power Dynamos enjoyed the lion's share of possession in this game. Let's do this. Let's have a look at the space Green Buffaloes were actually leaving behind. So the space behind the GBFC defense. And I'm just thinking, look, you are Power Dynamos. If there's space like that, now I'm actually thinking in this game later on we actually saw Skaunga actually come in, and this was basically the pattern throughout the game that they were playing the short, intricate passes but failing to unlock. But I would like us to discuss this point. Martin Piri as a center forward, of course, playing in between the lines, had seldom shot at goal, but that space at the back looks like you need a typical number 9 who will run in that space. The midfielder should see him and not try to saw your way through a defense. Surely Power Dynamo should have gotten some goals thanks to that space Green Buffaloes were leaving behind the defense.
When you look at that space which was left behind, but when the way Buffaloes were playing, the goalkeeper has to be very alert, because the space is just too much. When they put in a ball behind the defenders, the goalkeeper has to help the team. But we
didn't see that throughout the game.
Yeah, but when you look at, you are talking of a striker to go and get the ball behind the defenders. It's not easy for a striker to go and get the ball behind the defenders, because he will be seen by the defenders. The player who is capable of getting the balls behind the defenders without being noticed is the one who is coming from the midfield. But when you look at the way Power Dynamos were playing, they were just playing short passes, keeping the ball. They loved what they were doing, but at the end of it, it couldn't get them results. But you look at, I'll give you a typical example of how Ozil plays for Arsenal. He usually gets the balls like behind the defenders, and then you get for the other guys to finish.
How is it possible? How are we having a conversation that Kelvin Mwanga, Larry Bwalia, Godfrey Ngwenya, Fuayo Tembo and Martin Piri failed to use space behind the defense? First off, they are making those runs. Okay, Larry is making those runs wide, but Kelechi is running into the half space. But beyond that, just on the edge of the Green Buffaloes penalty area and beyond that, we're not seeing a lot of industry on the part of Power Dynamos. What do you think Dan Kawe could have been saying to his players at halftime and after the game, more so that they ended up losing this game?
Yeah, I thought what the coach could have done there, since he saw that in the first half they couldn't manage to penetrate, maybe even to get a goal. I think sometimes you should talk to players. Sometimes you use even individual as players, because the coach may have his own system sometimes to say, okay, we'll close this. But sometimes your own, you just say on your own, oh guys, okay, you've seen these guys, they have closed that space, which our coach said we should do A, B, C, D. Yes, we'll be marking if he says we press, we have to press, yes, when we lose the ball. But sometimes as players, we say, okay, now I will take it as is.
But how easy or difficult is it to actually do that, Arthur? No, I'm thinking, who has the armband? Fuayo. Fuayo should be the one who should be doing things, speaking with the ball.
Yeah.
Probably not even speaking to his teammates, just speaking with the ball and
the ball,
directing
it
play.
will show that our captain, what he wants now is a goal. Because the way you are going with the ball, if you are dribbling, people would see, why is he dribbling? Is he dribbling to show people that he's a good dribbler or what? No. Sometimes you dribble to maybe try to maybe find space for maybe other players to open up. Maybe you create a scoring space.
Okay. So, Arthur, I still want to get your opinion as well. When you're on the pitch, you are controlling the game. The possession stakes are in your favor. But you're just feeling just that panache in the final third.
You know, at times when you're in the field of play, the coach will give you instructions. When you see that what the coach wants is not working, what do? You want to win the game. You just have to use the individual brilliance. You just have to do what you think will help the team.
But how was that missing against Power?
It wasn't there because Power couldn't notice that the Buffaloes are playing high line defense, of which if one player from Power Dynamos from the midfield, though most midfielders, Kadi Waria, Kelechi Kampamba and Ngoya, they were content of playing. I think they were.
Yeah,
just
of course, even the Buffaloes took advantage because they saw that these guys are just playing with the ball. So what Bilton did was just to study them, that since they are failing to penetrate and maybe have a shot on goal, let's try to close them. Maybe we get them on a counter. No wonder you said they were leaving a space behind.
So Green Buffaloes, well, enjoyed victory against Power Dynamos. Let's just look at their game management acumen in this game that saw them condemn Power Dynamos to their first defeat this year. Now, look at this. So Bilton Sonda makes a tactical change, brings on fellow Stonia, and actually changes the formation to a 4-2-3-1, where you have two defensive midfielders sitting there, but brings in Kabamba now to play the number 11 role, who we're saying is a defender, was a defender. And at first value, that doesn't look like a good idea, because if you bring in a defender, do you want to get goals or do you want to defend? And to make matters worse, you are being outplayed, Arthur.
Is it? That's why I'm saying about what I'm saying about this GBFC side. For them, they knew they gave a lot of respect to Power Dynamos. They knew they would be outplayed.
Due respect, or is it due respect or too much respect?
I think it's too much respect, because if GBFC would have gone punch for punch against Power Dynamos, they would have even scored more goals. Because when you look at this Power Dynamos side, it's not that it's not a well coordinated side. Look at the players that they have. They've got Kampamba, they've got Fautembo in the midfield, but those guys, mostly when it comes to defending, they are not that good in defending. But if you give them respect, they are good players. They can hold on to the ball, do those passes in the midfield, which made the GPFC to look like they didn't know what they were doing. But again, Coach Bilton Sonda bring in Stephen Kabamba. It showed that his team was being outplayed, and for them to get a maximum points, it was just by the grace of God.
By the grace of God. Anyway, let's hear it. The Angels were flying with the Buffaloes at the weekend.
Yeah, Zite, if you look at that substitute of bringing a defender, removing a striker, I think his plan was not to lose, yes, the game, maybe just to get a point. Like my colleague is saying, maybe to get a draw, but not thinking of winning the game itself. Because being at home, I think what you need is, I think, maximum a points by having good strikers and the organization of the way you are attacking. The defender, yes, came in and closed the game in the midfield. Yes, he closed it because the way, if you look at the way the wingers were exchanging positions, Fuayo is this side, Ngwenya is the other side,
Muvanga as well.
Muvanga also is so I think he was trying maybe to close in the midfield, to have a lot of, maybe like someone is anchoring in the midfield, to have one anchor midfielder who is also helping them.
Apparently, it was almost like business as usual, and this is what I want to establish. Where the Green Buffaloes technical bench perfectly okay with the possession that Power Dynamos were having, them getting up to the edge of the area, and because they just didn't have that cutting edge, they didn't get some goals. Would you say they were comfortable?
When you look at the way Buffaloes played, I think they planned for that during training, the whole week of training, because it could even show that they were letting Power Dynamos to have that possession, but when it comes like to get into the 18 area, that's where they were denying them to go past them. That, I think that was their game plan.
But that could be club risky business. Anyway, let's look at the numbers of that game, shall we? Let's look at the match statistics and see what they tell us about what it was. 1-0 in favor of Green Buffaloes. They bounced back successfully after losing to Lusaka Dynamos as a precursor to this game. Now look at this. Shots on target, 3-3. How? How? With all that possession that that Power Dynamos have, probably they feel insulted with just the first line of statistics. Shots off target. Vespa. 3-3.
3-3. What are they doing? Passes, you win by passing, or we win by shooting so that we try to get a goal.
Okay, let's look at the next row. Maybe this one is a little bit comforting. 6 shots on target compared to only 3 for Green Buffaloes. In terms of crosses, now, if you're a Green Buffalo supporter, now, this is a little bit worrying. Out of the 6 crosses Green Buffaloes managed to put in this game, only 1 landed on the target. Compared to 8 times Power Dynamos found their target in terms of the crosses. 3, 4 in terms of corners. In terms of forward passes, it was only 3 landed for Green Buffaloes out of their total 4. And for Power Dynamos, it was 4 out of 4. But as we said, all this was actually being terminated just on the edge of the Green Buffaloes penalty area. There were 2 offsides for Green Buffaloes compared to 4 for Power Dynamos. 10 free kicks for Buffaloes compared to only 7 for Power Dynamos. Now, those numbers, does it change the trajectory? It wasn't all doom and gloom. We're actually puncturing holes in the entire setup for Power Dynamos. But yeah, in terms of crosses, they did relatively well. 8 times they got there. But maybe that's why Skaonga actually came in. Because Dankawe actually realized that, centrally, we are unable to break them down. If we go wide, put in a cross, there we've had a bit of joy.
Is it why Power Dynamos had a good conversion rate when it comes to crosses was like because they had a lot of bodies in the GBFC areas compared to GBFC 1 out of 6. They will go like on the flanks GBFC, but for them to find the target, we'll find like maybe there's only one person in the box.
Would you have preferred your former teammate, Lyson Skaonga, should have started this game? Because maybe Dankawe should have also said, okay, Buffaloes have changed, so my response should be probably bringing on a big target man, and maybe Martinez for the silky tiki-taka when it's working.
When you look at Lyson Skaonga, it's not a guy who has got pace. I think Jimmy Njovu would have done better because what Power Dynamos would have done for them to get a goal was to play behind the defenders. When you look at Morgan Kanjolo, that guy has got no speed. Same as Adrian Chama, but they were playing in front of them, which gave them enough power to defend very well.
Okay, so what happens in the next game, and should Dankawe after this defeat actually be considering what his starting lineup should be? Should he be looking at which center forward actually starts for specific games, or he can go ahead and use Fuayo and Martin Piri as the forwards in the next game as well?
Yeah, sometimes these players, you find that maybe they've played a lot of games, and then Zambian players sometimes they can't show you that maybe they are tired or I have an injury. They will just say, okay, I'm ready. Yes, I can play. If you look at the team he had when they beat Nkana, that was a good team, I think, and the game they played, it was a good game.
But it's the same team, Vespa.
It is, yes. No wonder I'm saying, yes, he can make some changes. But looking at the way they played with Buffalo, they came in, yes, as with jackets to saying that we are almost now league leaders. Be careful, Buffaloes, we are beating you this game. Looking at the way we played with him.
So what should Dankawe do? Talk to them, or change it, tweak it?
Yes, some positions may change, but sometimes you look at your changes also, how you change, because every time if you change the team, you may be going back to the drawing board.
Drawing board. Did he just say drawing board? Arthur, what are your thoughts?
Zita, again, it gives demoralizes players when you lose one game and then you make a wholesale change.
So he should stick with it.
Give them chance to prove themselves, because they know what the result in the past game. They have to pull up their socks and get maximum points in the next game.
All right, take it or leave it. It's only but advice. Let's have a look at one important player for Green Buffaloes who's actually proving to be an important cog in this game. He profited from some national team exertions on the part of Adrian Chama, got into the team, played with Buchizi Mfune as a central defender. But let's just take stock of what Sydney Lombe did in this game. Played 90 minutes. Now, by far, this wasn't a pretty day at the office for Buffaloes. So for us to be picking a defensive player to be their most positive player in attack is worrying. He made 4 of the 7 forward passes that the team made. 4 came from him. 2 of them actually landed on their target, who was Brian Wheeler, who was leading the line. He was sticking up front there. Then, in terms of blocks, he accounted for 30%, 3 out of 10 that Buffaloes did. Decent player. And he's also very comfortable on the ball. And not a bad passer of the ball. Does anyone like this guy to probably, or is it too late? Is his generation?
You look at Sidin Lombe, look at the past 2 seasons. Did you ever see Sidin play in the Buffaloes lineup? No, it's only this year. I was even shocked, like, is Sidin still playing? But when you look at the way he's performing nowadays, he has come, is the Sidin that I knew years back. You know why he was even getting so many balls? Because when you look at the way Kampamba and the other guy were interchanging. Ngwenya. I think when they lose the ball, when they lose the ball, like in the midfield, the right back Sidin Lombe was the only one who was free, and they know that when you give him the ball from the back, he's able to play.
Okay, that's the situation. So that was our analysis of Power Dynamo's first defeat in the 2017 season of the MTN Fast Super League.